Hello, I'm Dwarkesh Hardhankar, and I welcome you to the Social Crusaders podcast series. Did you know out of the top 6 courses on Coursera, 3 are based on artificial intelligence and machine learning? In fact, the most opted course on Coursera is Machine Learning by Stanford University. It has rightly been said, data is the new oil. Today, we have with us Atharva Pagade, who is actively involved in the field of machine learning and data science. Atharva was placed with one of the highest packages at Sardar Patel College of Engineering. So let us dive into his mindset to find out what he did that made him stand so far apart from the rest of his colleagues. So without any further ado, let's get started.
The machine learning boom is happening all over the world and it is accelerating quickly.
One thing that is different today in today's world is availability of large amounts of data. So basically, I'll give you an example. Like you take any popular website, a worldwide website like Amazon or Netflix. So these websites today are storing ginormous amounts of data. Like it's unimaginable. They have so many data centers around the world. They have so much data set. And basically what scientists and what officials at these companies thought is that why don't we use such huge amounts of data to gather some insights? Like we want to grow our business. We want our businesses to go to next level. And there is all definitely competition at a large level because everyone wants to be number one. And this prompted a lot of development in this field. And many intelligent people around the world, with master's degree and PhDs, started working with these companies to create amazing models to get good insights and good predictions. For example, they got good recommendation engines. If you go to Netflix, you will see that the recommended shows that or movies that you get on the homepage are definitely are the ones which have high probability that you will watch, and their models are quite successful in that regard. Or you go to Amazon, you get recommended products which you will buy. They know that you will buy, and even you know that the products which I see on the homepage, I like them. So we take these things for granted, but a lot of innovation has gone into making these things happen.
What are some of the common misconceptions about programming?
Right. So Python is a very big universe. You have to understand that. And just knowing everything is very, very counterproductive. It's a very wrong idea that usually people from non-computer science background have, that I need to learn a lot of programming languages. I need to know Python, I need to know HTML, CSS, Java, JavaScript, PHP, everything, those sort of things. But that is a very big misconception. You just need to find your interest and do like things in that, and regardless of the language doesn't matter. It is just a tool that you are using in order to build a product. Similarly, if you are building a robot, you don't argue I should use this screwdriver or this screwdriver. You build a robot, and that is important.
Atharva, is it necessary to start everything from scratch? Are there any resources available to study machine learning to help us out at the initial phase?
A lot of resources, a lot of people are making a lot of contributions, so you can get any kind of help. Even ready-made packages are available today. So it's not the case that you have to build everything from scratch. It's not the case like that. If someone comes from a background which is not in the field of software programming or software engineering, so basically these kind of people, they know everything but they can't code. That's their problem. They don't know any programming. So even for these people, there are packages available, like drag and drop features available. So through that, they can create their own applications. So it's not the case that you need to do everything from scratch. There are starter codes available. There are starter packages available that will guide you along the way. Okay. Right. So that you don't get discouraged. Like if someone wants to do this, they don't have to create everything from scratch. They don't have to code every line and create thousands of lines to create a simple thing. They don't have to do that because in this approach, it's very the probability is very high that you get discouraged from doing anything, because it's a slow process in this way. Like you don't see any results for the first 1 month, and then obviously you will think about quitting because you're not seeing anything. But the contributors around the world, if you go to GitHub, a lot of contributions are made so that beginners get a lot of exposure.
Can you tell us more about your BTech project?
Like Archit, you are a mechanical engineer now, so you know that to create 3D models, basically we have to use programs like AutoCAD or CATIA, right? CATIA. Yeah. So what we wanted to do basically was, so this process is quite complicated, right? So if you want to create 3D models, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of efforts. what we wanted, the aim of the project was to create a program which is a general purpose program. When we give a two-dimensional object, we will get a three-dimensional like representation. A two-dimensional image will get a three-dimensional representation of that thing, right? Without doing any kind of manual work, we automated this whole task. That was the aim of our project, basically, in simple terms.
You being an electrical engineer, how difficult was it to switch from a core domain to machine learning?
If you're doing something very different from what others are doing around you, so it is difficult to it is difficult because you don't have anybody else to guide you. So what I did is I entirely was dependent on online resources, and I listened to a lot of people online. I read a lot of people who are into the field online, so I took their advice. And I basically I took a long time because I did not have anyone to guide me. So the one thing that I think I had a disadvantage is I was not in a computer science field. I did not have teachers in this field, nor did I have my friends. My friends were they were very good in electrical engineering, core electrical engineering, and so I did not have very large number of people who I knew who were into this field. I knew a very few people personally who were in this, so I took advice and guidance from these people, and mostly online. Online, I think people underestimate the power of finding advices online. They're unreliable, but if you get a good advice from a reliable source or a verified source, I think it is very helpful, and people usually underrate this.
You have completed 2 years of your journey with machine learning. Do you feel confident now? And how do you plan to improve yourself in the coming future?
I think confidence is a function of your knowledge. I think I stand by that statement. If you have a lot of knowledge in any field, not even a lot of, even if you have above average knowledge in any field, you will be able to confidently have a conversation regarding that topic. Yeah. So confidence जो होता है वो, like if you don't know a particular topic, you'll definitely feel nervous speaking to someone who has a basic idea of it, because you know that if you go wrong, the other person will catch you on that. So so I think that the confidence, or you talked about confidence, is that because after making a lot of mistakes, I knew where I was going wrong, and I knew where others can go wrong. So if someone comes to me for an advice, I can give him a particular advice which I can give him confidently, because I have made mistakes. I know that I went wrong in that direction.
In machine learning, how important is it to study mathematics?
It depends on the person. If you are good at mathematics, you can dive into complex algorithms straight away, because a lot of these technologies, or if you want to pursue something in this field, it all depends on mathematics. Majority of it depends on it. So if you are good at mathematics, you will instantly gain that intuition to know what is going on, right? Because unlike software engineering, this is programming plus mathematics, right? And plus domain knowledge. If you want to do a job, you also need a domain knowledge in which you are working. So so even if you are good at one, you can gather expertise in the other two. Domain knowledge is for a later part. If you want to build a career, then you can go for that. But programming and mathematics, these two are the biggest factors. So if you feel that you are weak in programming, maybe you can take up a course. Or if you feel that you are weak in mathematics, maybe you can take up a course in mathematics. And basically for me, I was not very well acquainted with programming. When I didn't know Python, I had to learn Python from scratch. And while doing this, even my proficiency on Python also increased. So doing things, basically doing stuff helps you gain more knowledge, rather than just doing this course or watching those videos. Just doing stuff will enable one to learn a lot, basically.
So Atharva, what are your recommendations for the student community?
So the first and foremost thing I'll recommend to anyone, regardless if they want to pursue it in a career or not, is learning basic programming using Python. Everyone should know that. Each and everyone, not just engineers also. I'm speaking non-technical people, sales people, anyone. They should know basic programming and it is advisable to start in Python because it's a very easy language to learn, right? So programming skills, you need to have a beginner's like proficiency to start, right? The next thing is to be very very proficient in calculus, especially differential calculus and linear algebra, because you will execute things on the by programming. But if you want to learn the theory behind the algorithms, and if you go to any mathematical textbook or any research paper, there's a lot of mathematics involved, right? And if you go without any kind of knowledge whatsoever, it will feel like Chinese. क्या चल रहा है, ये कौन से symbols है, कुछ समझेगा नहीं. So you need to, if you are coming from 11th and 12th background, if you did mathematics religiously, then it's a piece of cake to start. But if someone is, for example, say from diploma background, who does not have a good mathematics understanding as compared to 11th and 12th students, I'd recommend to go through textbooks or videos of calculus and differential calculus and linear algebra, matrices and all those things to start.